Hello fellow Qt developers! Today I will show you how to use Visual Studio Code for Qt QML development, and we will do it using WSL. Why to use VS Code? It is more lightweight than Qt Creator, it has a lot of extensions, you can customize it the way you like it. In Somco software there are people who use Qt Creator, who use Visual Studio Code, and some people use CLion. I'm one of the people who prefers Visual Studio Code. There are projects where you use many different programming languages, and here the Visual Studio Code comes handy because it has a lot of extensions that allows you to work with Python, Java or other programming languages smoothly. When I have some free time, I sometimes help on our website when I do some JavaScript development, and yes, you guessed, I use Visual Studio Code. All of that means I need to switch between various programming languages daily, and I want to keep the same IDE. We are going to use Visual Studio Code and WSL together because Visual Studio Code is very easy to set up using WSL, and its architecture allows us to have the IDE open on Windows while having the backend work on WSL. By the way, we have a great Qt QML C++ training offer. Please check it out on our website. So first of all, to use WSL on your Windows machine, you need to have the feature Windows Subsystem for Linux enabled. To do so, head into the Start menu, type Turn Windows Features on or off, and scroll down to the list until you see Windows Subsystem for Linux. As you can see, I have it already installed on my machine. If you don't, just check it, press OK, and proceed with the installation. Once you have this feature enabled, go into Microsoft Store, and here we will just install WSL. I am searching for Ubuntu because that's the system that I want to use for my WSL. It is the most popular one. I'm choosing the version 24.04. This is the latest long-term supported version of Ubuntu. You just hit the Get button and it is being installed. Once it's installed, just open it. The installation proceeds in your terminal. We need to wait a few more minutes. After the installation is complete, you just need to create a user for your WSL instance. So just type in your username and password. After the setup is complete, you have a fully working WSL. Now we can proceed with Qt installation. To do so, I open the Qt documentation, and here you can find a ready-to-use command to download an installer on Linux machine. Just copy it and download to your WSL instance. As you can see, we have it on our local. If we want to be able to execute it inside the WSL, we need to add an executable permission. It is done by using hmod command, and don't forget to prefix it with the sudo. We can proceed with our Qt installation. Heading to the Qt documentation, we can find there are few available aliases. I would copy the essentials dev because that's the latest Qt version that I want to install. You can do full installation, full dev, and so on. Just pick the installation you prefer. If you scroll down, there is also a lot of parameters to customize the installation, even if you want to do it without user interaction. Here is the ready command that allows you to install Qt in some custom directory just by specifying the root parameter. That's what I want to use. And I want to install my Qt inside the opt directory, and I want to install the Qt 6.10.2. In my case, I need to run the command using sudo because I want to install it in the opt. The installer will ask you for your Qt account, like email and password. Let's answer the questions during installation, accept the licenses, and so on. Great, we have Qt installed, but we are not yet ready to start development. We need to add few more missing dependencies that can be found in Qt for Linux documentation. Just copy the command and we will execute it, but first let's do the apt update. Once done, let's just execute the command that we just copied from the Qt documentation. Now let's also install a CMake. After installing CMake, we are basically ready to start development. Now let's proceed with Visual Studio Code setup. The most important thing that we need is actually to install a WSL extension. Just find it and install. Once it's installed, we can just close the Visual Studio Code because it is going to be opened automatically. Let's create our Hello World project, cd into it, and if you type code dot, it will open the Visual Studio Code on your host machine using the WSL backend inside that directory. As you can see, the Visual Studio Code opened and we are inside a WSL. Now let's install Qt extension pack. This one includes a Qt Python package, but we are not going to use it, so we'll just go with the Qt C++ extension pack. This extension pack contains CMake tools and C++ extension that is very handy when it comes to Qt C++ development. Let's create our project by adding main CPP, main QML, and CMake lists.txt. I will simply copy the code that I have prepared. And as you can see, we don't have IntelliSense or syntax highlighting working, but we're going to fix it. Let's create a .vscode directory, and inside that directory, a settings.json file. Here, let's set a CMake prefix path inside a CMake configure settings. And CMake prefix path should point into your Qt installation directory. In my case, opt qt 6.10.2 gcc 64. It is still not yet working, but we can try to compile it. First, you will need to select a kit, but in your first installation, the kits are most likely not initialized, so we need to scan. And after another attempt, we can select a GCC compiler that we have installed on our system. And you can see our application is fully working. You can see that the warnings disappear, which means that IntelliSense is working. You can see the auto-completion works as well. But unfortunately, that's just the C++ files. Inside the QML files, we still don't have the IntelliSense and auto-completion working, so we're going to fix that as well. To do it, we need to start the QML language server. If you press Ctrl, Shift, and P on your keyboard, you should be able to find Restart QML language server command. As you can see, in my case, it produces an error because it cannot locate the QML language server. So we need to specify the path manually. We need to do it inside the WSL environment, and we need to specify the QMLS custom exe path. Again, this is the same directory that we installed Qt within, but in this case, it's going to be a bin directory. Here in the directory, you should find the QMLLS binary, just as I did. So that's the path we're going to set, directly pointing to the QMLLS binary. Now the server should restart automatically. If it didn't, just run the restart QML server command. Now let's see if it works. As you can see, auto-completion for anchors works as well. If we set the anchors to bottom for the parent, we should see the text being on the bottom of the screen. Yeah, and it is working fine. Now let's revert the changes and have it on the center. Works fine as well. As you can see, we have a fully working VS Code setup using WSL. So that would be it. Now you know how to use Qt, QML, Visual Studio Code and WSL all together. Please let us know in the comments what would you like to learn next. Maybe we can show you how to use Qt with some AI tools. Thanks and see you next time.